I was thinking, and good evening, good morning to son, brother Daniel here. So I was thinking something, you know. I was thinking about when I first came into the knowledge of the truth, and I was thinking about how before, when I was first coming in, and I was at that point, I was kind of by myself. And here's what I mean by myself: I was the only one in my house learning this. Um, I would spend so much time in my basement burning that midnight oil and just reading and reading and reading and when I started to come into the knowledge of the truth, because the Father was dealing with me, but I needed to have obviously somebody to teach me um, all the more. And when I was coming into the knowledge of the truth, I started looking at all of the things I was learning, mainly holidays and all these different things that I used to partake in. And at first, I had the attitude to myself. At first, I had the attitude like, "Dang, I can't do nothing." I was thinking to myself like, "Man, I can't do this. I can't do that." I'm like, "Dang!" But I had to set in my mind that for the Father, I'll cut it out, you know. But that did come to my mind. Like it was like, "Man, I can't do this. I can't do that." And I just had a conversation with a brother, and he was just asking me certain questions. He's a little bit older than me, but he was asking me questions, and he was like, "Man, I'm learning the things I can't do," and then it all hit me all at once. And what hit me was, man, how much freedom I really had now. When you read this word, and this word that you understand that there is liberty in Hamashiach, or the Christ, Jesus the Christ, there is liberty, there is freedom. And not only is there freedom, it's freedom in Yah's word. It's so much freedom in his law. Why? Because no longer do I really have to try to figure things out. Here's what I mean by that. Man, I lived a life where I was just like, okay, is this wrong? Is this right? Is this right? Is this wrong? I grew up in a household where there was a healthy fear, like, you don't want to do this, this, and this, and this, and this because the Father gonna get you, type of deal. And so I grew up in a house that had a healthy fear, Yahweh. And not only that, I feared my father, and not feared like just constantly to get whooping. I feared him with that too, but there was a reverence there as well. To I reverence my father, and now when I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, man, there's so much freedom that I have in the Father's law, because I don't got to figure nothing out no more. I don't got to figure out, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this wrong? Is this right? When I look at his law, he tells you what to do and what not to do. And the more and more I obey it, his commandment, the more and more I obey what is written through Moshe and through the prophets, the more and more, and through Jesus mainly, but the more and more I look at this, I'm like, man, there's so much freedom in his law. Like, you're literally set free. For the life of me, I don't understand why somebody wouldn't want to obey. Like, why wouldn't you want to obey by doing what is written? That's just mind-boggling to me. The more and more I physically, spiritually, mentally, the more and more I do, I notice he's setting me apart. He's taking me out of certain things. He's pretty much my whole life is gone. But the more and more I do is the more and more peace I find in doing what's written. It's the more and more and more freedom I find in doing what's written, because no longer do I have to stress myself out trying to figure out, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this right? Is this wrong? But here's the thing. It's no better feeling knowing and seeing the Father using you and the people around you as well to do his work. It's no better feeling, because you know for a fact that you are loving him. John 14:15 says, those who love me keep my commandments. So the more and more I keep his commandments, and the more and more I see the growth, I feel the growth in myself. I feel and I see the growth in my family, in the brethren that are around me, their families. When I see it, it's just a beautiful thing. And it all came through obedience, by actually doing what the Father says to do in his word, physically doing it, and having a mind made up. Having a mind made up that you're going to stop foolishness and you're getting it right. And in no stretch of the imagination do I have it all together. No, I don't. Because at the end of the day, I'm still born in sin, shaped in iniquity. I live in I'm constantly dying to this flesh daily. Daily I'm fighting. I'm dying to this flesh. But I realize, and I'm feeling and I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing the growth. And not only that, as I grow, you see the severity even more, how much more serious this is to do what's right. Because the Father begins to trust you with more. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. To be able to pray and see your prayers answered is a beautiful thing. To be able to command, because I'm being taught by a righteous man, Pastor Charles Dow. But to be able to be taught and shown in the scriptures, not opinion, but shown in the scriptures on how to cast out devils out of people, to see people being set free, to see demons cast out of people, to see people being healed, to know that my first resort through any type of pain or affliction is not to run to a hospital, but I know I can have my brother lay hands on me and command healing, and to actually feel better, and to see these things and know. I tell you one thing, ain't no going back, man. This is just beautiful. It's just beautiful, man. But hey, just want to share my thoughts with y'all. I ain't seen y'all in a while. Been very busy, but bless you. Have a good evening.